at the newcomers if they can take that series.
Yeah. We get to see Raven again, which I'm super... I love watching Raven in tournament. I think this character has so much potential, and I love to see that already we're seeing deep bracket runs from Raven players. And then also we have another Jake player, right? 2 Jakes potentially in top 4, which is unbelievable. Going into this tournament, I was not expecting to see Jakes make these deep bracket runs. And on the other end, we have Stripe and Garnet, 2 characters that have always been kind of like adjacent to getting top results, right? But have never really made that push into like these deep, like, you know, number 1s, these number 2s. So it's I'm just like, this is going to be a matchup of all time from these players, and it's super cool. Looking into this match and seeing, like, you know, which team comes out on top. All right.
Without a doubt, the interesting match. I do really wonder if we will see the Raven all the way through this set. Like, Lion, if it gets close, right? If it gets dicey, if BigJhonson and Auto start to work this one into their favor early, do you think we get switches back to more comfortable picks?
That's a really good question. I actually think that maybe if it goes to like a game 3 and they're on the back foot, right? If it goes to this game 5, I think Aeris is probably going to stick on Raven.
Okay.
But Moices is like pretty known for like switching characters, right? In one tournaments, he goes off that Steven into that Shaggy pick.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like a Steven or a Shaggy, 2 characters that we just know are good in 2s, to kind of make their way back into this lower bracket here. But honestly, his Jake has looked really solid. I think even though Musty Nobody is kind of the one known for Jake, I think a lot of what we've seen Moises do has been really solid on the Jake. I think that the follow-ups from Dorian and Musty are a little bit better, but I think the offstage play from Moises, we see these reverse Sairs into the wall that combo into these Sair 2s that send people flying. Like, all this stuff is so like creative and unique, and we haven't really seen a lot of Jakes go for it. So I'm like I think his Jake is definitely solid enough to kind of make this win happen.
Well, you like it? We'll have to see. We'll jump into this one. Winner plays Musty and Dorian for a chance at the lower finals. That'll be one heck of a matchup, but a couple before we get there, especially this first set. Lowers quarters on the way.
All right. We are almost in the game, and right now we see both teams actually are running that armor perk for that 15 gray health. The further we go into the tournament, the more teams we see rocking it. It's so good, and it's nice to kind of see that, like, instead of like Snowball or Ignite being the go-to pick, we actually have like these new perks that really weren't really seen before getting some value and some use. But as we go into neutral, it's really, I think it's all going to be, whenever I see BigJhonson and Malignant Auto play, in my mind, it's kind of around how much Malignant Auto dies. As massive as that sounds, whenever they win, it feels like Malignant is able to hold on to his stock for a long amount of time. But whenever they're losing, I feel like Malignant Auto's just stock like bleeds a lot of the time. Right here, like we see Malignant Auto not really taking any damage.
Bite.
But oh my gosh, the bite into this air too. BigJhonson SDs. Wow, the double bite from Moices is doing everything here. Oh my gosh, this. What a colossal switch of momentum for them. And then Malignant Auto gets a combo into it, trying to set up for the spike for BigJhonson. BigJhonson falling up off the first, but unable to follow up off the second kill potential. All right.
There it comes in. Stock to be taken out.
Yeah, Moises trading out that stock, but I mean, for such a dominant start, this is surprisingly close. We see Moises has to be the one to live here. Aeris actually doesn't have hood form yet. What happened to Moises?
Well,
what is this game?
You know, sometimes it's just a go next angle, Lion. That's all you can really say about it. Next game, let's just keep it going.
What?
Whoa, are they gonna switch?
Maybe we might actually see that switch from Moises come out. But what a weird game. Like, I don't know. It's just both. Yeah, we see that Steven switch come in.
Yep. Forget that.
Yeah, lost one match, instant switch off Jake. All right. But I mean, what a weird first game. It felt like both teams kind of made really big mistakes. We saw multiple SDs. Or what was it? Johnson and Moises both SD'd that match. Moises got a giant double bite, and then like Johnson and Otto had a great start. So we're gonna see like what of that gets replicated going on in this set and which of it doesn't.
Yeah, like I almost wouldn't even analyze that one. You know, here's the real matchup. This is the real game one. It's just for some reason the red team got a 1 game advantage in this set. I don't know.
Yeah, if I blew up like that first game didn't happen. It just wasn't real. But already we see like red team able to kind of maintain a lot of that momentum that we kind of saw. I'm interested to see like how Aeris's Raven play changes, because right now we see they're going for these bursts that we see for Steven whenever Steven's getting comboed, but it isn't really getting them too much value. Malignant Auto's advantage is just so strong, where he's getting so much value. He's able to save his teammate, and he's kind of living, which is what I like to see from a Stripe player, where they're just able to do like able to kind of take over the match.
Well, it's just, Stripe is so slippery, but if you can actually connect, it's pretty easy to get them dead. It just kind of is like this dual-edged sword where low weight combined with high movement speed makes it kind of difficult to find regardless. Sarah looking a lot better. Kill confirm looking better early on. Sarah almost caught Auto early, didn't quite do so. That's a big trade that's going to come out though. High percentage nonetheless, but again, it's a Stripe that's hyper mobile, very hard to find, and just kind of chilling in neutral right now. Can't quite convert on it.
And the longer the Stripe lives, the more damage, because if you have if you have a lot of charges on gun, you end up just doing so much damage, right? So it can be so dangerous to let a Stripe live for so long, because you kill them after they do like 4 rounds of gunshots, which does like around 50 damage. They respawn, have another 12. You can lose the lead or like you can get in a bad spot really fast. But the Moices loops are so strong. BigJhonson already at 80% on this stock. Malignant Auto though in burnout, in disadvantage. But manages to kind of make it back there.
Accidentally picked up Raven there. Just getting kind of comboed into it. That doesn't kill. Moises is still alive at 150. Aeris just getting stuck in this difficult 1v2. Somehow still alive off stage. Still existing. Tech stage still live. Finally, that stock's gone.
Yeah, Aeris is in burnout. Wasn't much they could do about that. Malignant Auto was just so patient to just wait out for them to try and recover high and then just punish them with the gunshot. And BigJhonson secures the kill on the other end. And they're up 2-0 against Aeris and Moises. I mean, it's pretty dominant, all things considered. They were kind of in control of that entire match. And honestly, they looked pretty good the entire time. Malignant Auto just playing so well. I think he's really, like, big shout outs to him. BigJhonson getting a lot of these confirms, got a dare confirm and an up special confirm off of Malignant stuff. So like good follow-ups from him, right? But it cannot be overstated just how important it is to have your Stripe player be able to live for a long time. The difference in all these games is if Malignant lives like over a minute and a half, it just feels impossible to catch up on the other team.
Well, lives to 150 stock 1. Is doing a good job of consistently just working in jab combo, getting so much percentage acquired for the team. Also, stun locking players for a bit to give time for Johnson to come in. And really big fan of that first stock taken from the Garnet. Just caught gauntlets out. Moises is so low towards the blast zone, able to recognize it quickly. Was in a fight with Aeris off ledge and still just turned around, 180'd it, dropped it out real quick. I was able to catch the recovery in a moment where Moises would obviously expect him to be distracted. So looked really nice. They play the first 2 games solid. The first 1 game, if you will. I don't know if game 1 counts for anything. But the second game looked very good. Obviously back to lobby again. Is this an Aeris switch?
I'm not really sure. I think I don't really. Okay, here's my big take. I don't really think that swapping is going to fix a lot of their problems. I think the Raven Jake could have worked, and I think the Raven Steven especially could have worked, right? Where I think a lot of it was just they got team comboed a lot. When you're fighting a Garnet and a Stripe, you can't really let them get too big of a jump on you at the start, because making that comeback is so difficult. You really need to be finding the openings early, and especially making it so that Malignant can't live as long as he was, because he was there around for 2 minutes. 2 minutes on his first stock. You're getting a gun cooldown like so often, and if Stripe has a gun cooldown, it's just so difficult. You can use it to secure kills, get like that 12% combo with it, do everything. So you really need to be making sure that they die fast. But I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know if they're going to character swap, or I don't know if they're just gonna run it back.
And they were pausing for something unrelated, so we'll chill for a moment. Don't want to call out the swap real quick, just in case it's not the swap, because that would be kind of silly. So we'll chill for a moment. Anything else catching you early in this set, though, in terms of differences, or actually, let's look at the other side because we talk about changes. Let's talk about what Otto and Johnson are doing well.
Yeah, so especially at the start, right? They're having such good like team synergy in the way that they combo and the way that they play off each other. We saw there that like Puzzler that Malignant and Johnson were both just kind of securing kills off each other. Like whenever Stripe sends them high, BigJhonson is there to kind of get these follow-ups, right? We saw game 2 him get a combo kill with a grounded up special off of what Malignant was doing. So we were really seeing like a lot of good like team synergistic plays between them that aren't really being replicated on the other side. Aeris and Moices kind of just feel like they're both like playing twos, but they're not really playing as a cohesive unit. But on the other side, you really see that like that, that overwhelm that comp is so good at in those combo plays that really they're so adept at kind of taking over.
And there's the no funny business. So they actually are going to go ahead and swap. Stall for a bit of time, but there is going to be that swap as well. So Aeris going to go to the Wonder Woman. Work that back into this matchup. I think Wonder Woman Garnet is a great matchup for the Wonder Woman. But we got to see, it's 3 different comps for 3 different games. How quickly are you able to adapt as a player to your own switches?
Yeah, exactly. I think it is really different, but we've seen throughout all of Multiverses that double shield has been just so dominant. And even here, like, Aeris is already doing a really good job of kind of 1v1ing against Malignant in ways that maybe were hard to his Raven, right? Where, like, they're kind of just had an advantage already, especially with the Steven fastfall changes. Things like Steven Nair got even better after the last patch, which is crazy to say because his Nair was already so good. But right now, like, it's actually a torpedo falling on you. But BigJhonson and Malignant Otto actually doing a pretty good job to even things up after a pretty rough first half. This percents are around even on both teams, and no one's really getting these openings. Oh wow, what a carry on the side of Johnson, but the actual the Sawbuzz from Stripe actually makes him unable to get the kill and then gets traded out. That's so tragic.
They both 1v1s. First shield drop for Wonder Woman to try to give them a little extra time here on the work back in. It honestly kind of works out nicely of getting that shield from the Wonder Woman on top of what is this gray health perk, because they kind of just walked back and they killed the gray health. So now you see them actually start to gain the advantage where Johnson finally going to take that stock, but he lost so much percent in the process. It's 80% gone.
Yeah.
And now they've got to deal with gray health.
Yeah, as long as Malignant just doesn't like run in and take like 90 damage, they're still in a good spot here, right? Because Johnson can die, right? And they're still going to have a stock to play with. Meanwhile, both players on blue don't really want to take too much damage here because both of them kind of want to live.
Good gauntlet.
Yeah, but we already see here, Aeris just kind of pressing the advantage so hard. Malignant Otto already at 60%, as he's the one that kind of needs to live here. All right. But Aeris is doing so well in the 1v1s, just kind of making so much space for Moises to just kind of play back and be safe.
All right. Well, Sayer still haven't been able to work back to neutral. Finally, Johnson going to find a jab combo to put them back into somewhat favorable of a position. And it's broken up by Moises. You start to lock into that jab combo. Can't get out of it. It's not cancelable. So Moises is able just to walk forward and send him up. Very nice stuff there from the blue team to recognize and capitalize.
That down special into up air is just such a strong confirm on Steven. But honestly, Moises at 90% right now. This is definitely doable for the side of red team. Like it could honestly go either way. It's just how long can Otto live and how much can Moises and Aeris use these armors to stall.
Yeah, you need that hold for shield here if you're Aeris and not quite going to get it. So really relying on Moises to stay alive here.
Wow,
Auto set low, but Johnson will come forth and take that one. It's so many comp swaps. Nothing works out for them. It's a 3-0 for Johnson and Otto.
That was really well played from Malignant Otto. He manages to like live that game for so long, just managing to like hold that stock, be like, yeah, like you can kill BigJhonson twice, but you're gonna have to kill him a third time or you're gonna have to run me down. And then he just kind of plays behind BigJhonson and then pulls out dynamite and then just dynamites whenever anyone approaches him. It can be so difficult if the Stripe player just plays like a little bit further back to be able to get these openings on him that maybe other characters can't really deal with.